What's up, the squad? Back with another video. Definitely have to check this video out. Big shout outs to y'all sending videos through my emails, communities tab, comments down below. Big shout outs to Kevin Hayes for definitely sending a lot of videos to my email. Definitely appreciate you for that. You already know, hit the like with that subscribe button. Other videos you want me to check out, make sure y'all email me or DM me on Instagram, LifeWithRecklezz@yahoo.com, or DM me on Instagram, LifeWithRecklezz.
Get this straight. Donald Trump claims, falsely, that Joe Biden is using the presidency to exact revenge on his political opponent, and that it's terrible and disqualifying, but also that if he becomes president, he'd be willing to use the same tactics that he's complaining about right now. In other words, Donald Trump hates what he asserts Joe Biden is doing so much that he can't wait to wield the same tactic against him. Got it. And bear in mind, this isn't a one-off. This is a recurring theme for Trump. Here he is just weeks ago.
So we have somebody weaponizing. We have this incompetent president put somebody in to essentially rig the election just like they did before. And what this does, it sets a tremendously bad precedent, because you look at what's happened with this. Now, if I win, and let's say somebody comes along on the Democrat side and they're looking very strong, I can call my attorney general, I guess. Am I allowed to call him and say, you have to indict him on something, just find anything. You can indict him for anything you want, just indict him. And then, for the most part, when you get indicted, you know what you do? Ladies and gentlemen, I have decided to leave office immediately, et cetera, et cetera. I will be spending more time with my family. Do you ever hear that speech? Like hundreds of times. I'm the only one that ever got indicted where my poll numbers went through the roof. What the hell is going on?
And as late as last week, he posted on Truth Social, why didn't crooked Joe Biden tell his Injustice Department to file the lawsuits and indictments against me 3 years ago instead of right in the middle of my campaign for president? You're setting a bad precedent for yourself, Joe. The same can happen to you. These third world Biden indictments, which should never have been filed, would have been tried and over with years ago. My sleazebag opponent shouldn't be able to do this during my campaign or before the election. Again, Donald Trump is at the same time saying that the purported political prosecutions against him are bad, and also teases that if he becomes president, he'll do the same thing to Biden. Truly a man of principle we're dealing with here. In fact,
but at the same time, I look at the fact that a lot of what Trump does and says, obviously, a lot of things, can be true as what I've seen, but a lot of times can be trolling, and it's no sense of doing the same thing to him. Obviously, I mean, any other person would, honestly, I think would do the same. And if not, they don't. But at the same time, the stuff that, I feel like what Biden has going on, all that is depreciating itself. I feel like it is. I feel like the stuff, what was it? Who just got subpoenaed? I'm pretty sure his name is James and Hunter. All that stuff is gonna fall. I think it's more stuff. Obviously, I don't know what Trump thinks, and we can't just all assume all because he said. A lot of times people can be trolling. People can. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing to him. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. It's so many. It's so many wrongs. I done went through some myself just now. Somebody did me dirty, and it's cool. I thinking to myself, and I'm telling. Like, I got him, you feel me? But then thinking to myself, like, I'm just like, it's whatever, I'm just saying that, just say that. And even if I do, I mean, that's, again, we can't, as me, myself, I can assume and do with another, like, I can't just, oh yeah, he's going to do that, especially if it isn't done yet. Trump, y'all know, I definitely want him, and it's a lot of people that want him as president, of course. And on top of that, he has a ton, when I say a ton of supporters, and he isn't president yet. So again, we don't know what he's going to do, but at the same time, Biden and the whole everything, the administration is literally tearing itself apart. So it's like, it's reasons on why. It's reasons on why they're going after Trump, allegedly. I have to just say that, y'all know why, YouTube. But I feel like that's just what it is,
becomes president, he'll do the same thing to Biden. Truly a man of principle we're dealing with here. In fact, Trump's threats are so evident that Hillary Clinton pointed them out on air just days ago.
And so now he is going to, if he were ever near the Oval Office again, find people who have no principles, no conscience, who are totally tied, you know, to his fortunes, literally, and therefore would do whatever he said. And so the wreckage is almost unimaginable. You know, when I was Secretary of State, I used to talk about one and done. And what I meant by that is that people would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press. And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies, would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
We need to listen to
Take him at his word. The man means to throw people in jail who disagree with him, shut down legitimate press outlets, do what he can.
It sounds like she's trying to save herself. Look what she's on. She's on The View. It's the reason why you didn't win. Let me be quiet.
Who disagree with him, shut down legitimate press outlets, do what he can to literally undermine the rule of law.
She literally is saying everything that they're doing towards him. She literally, out of her own mouth. Look what she just said, y'all.
The man means to throw people in jail who disagree with him.
The man throws people in jail who disagrees with him. What are y'all trying to do right now? What is everybody hooraying about and trying to? This burns me up. You know, it's stuff like this, especially coming out of her mouth.
Press outlets do what he can to literally undermine the rule of law and our country's values.
He will use the military to stop protesters.
And of course, once the right heard their favorite boogeyman call out Trump's obvious threats, they lost their collective minds, because Trump threatening to go on a retribution tour if he's elected is totally fine, but God forbid someone call him out for it on air. That's apparently the red line for Republicans. And look, I get that Trump wants to blame his prosecutions on Joe Biden because he can't take responsibility for anything he does, but Joe Biden didn't tell anyone to do anything. Remember, it was... And look, I get that Trump wants to blame his prosecutions on Joe Biden because he can't take responsibility for anything he does, but...
Neither does the whole... This is crazy.
Joe Biden didn't tell anyone to do anything. Remember, it wasn't Biden who indicted Donald Trump. It wasn't a Democrat who indicted Donald Trump. It wasn't any politician who indicted Donald Trump. He was indicted by juries of his peers in 4 separate jurisdictions on 91 criminal charges based on the evidence presented by prosecutors. And so even though it was him who decided to try and overturn an election, even though it was him who decided to steal documents from the White House, even though it was him who incited a mob to the U.S. Capitol, this is somehow Biden's fault that Trump is being held to account for his behavior. Yeah, no, it makes total sense. What's craziest about blaming the left is that it was the left that tried to stop Trump here. We were all collectively begging and pleading for Trump not to try and overturn the election, for Trump and his acolytes not to interfere in the electoral.
I really feel like he's part of the problem. I don't know, some in the back of my head, like I just, you know, I've been feeling it this whole time, you know.
Certification process. For Trump not to meddle with voting machines and state legislators. In fact, the left were the only people who were telling Trump to do the right thing. Had he listened to us, he literally wouldn't be contending with a raft of...
Who is us? Who is this guy? That's what I want to know. Brian Tyler Cohen.
of criminal prosecutions right now.
I'm sorry.
Somehow, it's the fault of the only people who are giving him the advice that would have kept him out of the courtroom. And just one more point on the suggestion that no one can be held to account so long as they're running for office, or else it's clearly a way to interfere in their election. Here's the thing. That is why Trump announced his candidacy so early, so that he could always be a candidate and then always have this excuse. From the moment he announced, he decided that he could then immediately turn around and say, whoa, you're only prosecuting me because I'm a candidate for president. I mean, hell, the guy...
All right, y'all. So look, I'm in the video with this because what's this dude's name? I forgot that quick. I just read it off. Brian Tyler Cohen. Be part of the problem. Brian, listen to me. You watch this video. How many? You got 2.4 million subscribers. Everybody share this video and send it to Brian. Brian, listen to me, bro. Listen to me close. When Trump ends up winning the election, I want to see, like, I want you to record yourself. I want you to have cameras literally like everywhere, like a 360. I want you to have cameras everywhere and record your reaction when Trump wins. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. Catch you on the next one.